Rejection. How do you react when you get rejected? So it might be something to do with work, it might be by a friend, it might be a group of friends, it might be by an intimate partner, might be by your child, might be, who knows? There are so many ways that we can be or feel rejected. So what three things tend to happen? Well, one reaction when we are rejected or when we believe we've been rejected is a kind of fight, flight activated outrage. How dare they? Do they not know who I am? And I know I'd be great at this and whatever it is, or I don't deserve to be treated this way, which no, you definitely don't. Or there's all kinds of big hot reactions that we can experience if we get flicked into that kind of activated fight flight state. So what might that have us do? Well, it might have us tell the person what they're missing out on, or write an email that we will later live to regret, I suspect, or show up in some other way that definitely isn't going to serve us in the long run. So that's number one. Number two reaction can be that our imposter syndrome really kicks in. And it's a bit of a fight flight reaction as well. We start completely trashing and dismantling ourselves. This might be very familiar to some of you. It's really common, to be honest. And we start thinking, oh my gosh, what didn't I do? I wonder why, I wonder why they don't like being with me. I wonder if I've upset somebody. I wonder if I missed something off the application I put in for the job or the speaking engagement or whatever it was. And we just start in a very familiar way attacking ourselves and perceiving ourselves as definitely having been the problem. Then the third reaction is to go into a kind of frozen state of panic and fear, which feels similar. I would say it is a part of imposter syndrome, where we don't really react very much, and we either then get feel very, very low about what's happened, but again don't really react very much, or we stay in an ongoing kind of anxious, panicky state, again not really being able to let that go, certainly not being able to address anything. It's horrible. So three different really common ways, and to be clear, sometimes we can experience all three. So we get the rejection, whether it's in a WhatsApp message, or we feel we've been rejected. I keep saying we feel we've been rejected, because that is often what happens. Is our reality is not what actually the other person or people intended. So I'll give you an example of this. I recently had an experience where I was contacted by an organisation. We need you to be a keynote speaker for our event. Clearly someone had dropped out because I could sense the kind of urgency behind it. It's only not that many weeks away, actually, so there was a bit of a fuel behind their desire to have me. So because I don't really do many keynotes anymore, I was sitting with it, but I said, okay, great, let's jump on a Zoom, and if it was something that I really, really care and love about, then yeah, I might have considered it. And then I heard nothing until the other day, when I got a somewhat poorly worded email, I feel, which said in black and white that they'd forgotten to email me, but now they have found someone who's more of a specialist than me. Which I was like, okay, this is interesting. And of course I could feel my ego get activated at that moment, and that kind of, don't you know who Jane Evans is? Haven't you Googled me? And I know that I am an expert in the field that they require, but they obviously don't know it. And you know what? That's totally fine. But of course my ego showed up. So how did that play out in me? Well, it played out in me that I could feel and I could write in my head several emails, some of them, slightly narky, to send back to them. But every time I checked in with myself, it just felt not me, not aligned with who I am now. And I sat with it, and then I just sent a very simple email of, thank you so much for letting me know, and have a really, really wonderful day. And that did feel aligned with me. And of course, what I probably can tell myself again to soothe my ego is I probably dodged a bullet. If they're that disorganized and they don't do their research, maybe I do genuinely feel like I was not meant to be there, and that's okay. But it's just an example where the old me, oh my gosh, I probably would have sent them my CV, all the positions I've had, all the experience I've got, all the books I've had published, all the keynotes, all the TV appearance, who knows what, to, ram home my point. But nowadays, honestly, I know that just puts horrible, crappy energy out. That isn't me anymore. They're obviously too stressed to have done their homework. And so how I can cope with what feels like rejection nowadays is allow my ego a little bit of a dance about, allow the feelings that come with it, and then just flip and let it go. Because, it's a done deal. That did happen. And me getting angry, me feeling affronted in some way, me now dismantling myself and wondering what, I could have done differently, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to serve me. Gone. And that is what I wish for you.